Everest is now the wealthy executive's midlife crisis. I was famous for Everest. This is disappointing. That thing you did 10 years ago that was significant, everyone's doing it now. That thing you did a year ago, you've been copied. Where do we go if we're actually trying to innovate? If we're still trying to be ahead of those cues? The Everest I climbed is a little different. The Everest that was first climbed by Edmund Hillary 65 years ago, very different. We do have to ask whether in 2018, is climbing Everest still actually a significant challenge? And the way we're going to do this is, if you pick up your phones, go to menti.com in a browser and put in that code. Okay, there's a fair degree of skepticism in this audience. I like that. I'm actually going to put a vote in, not anymore. And I want to show you why. In the season of 2018, which is May, we had over 700 people reach the summit in 11 days. Step into the line, clip into the safety line, and shuffle your way towards your 5 minutes worth of summit selfie time. Everest is now the wealthy executive's midlife crisis. I don't know why you're cheering. I was famous for Everest. This is disappointing. That thing you did 10 years ago that was significant, everyone's doing it now. That thing you did a year ago, you've been copied. Where do we go if we're actually trying to innovate? If we're still trying to be ahead of those cues? Well, in the case of Mountaineers, we go back to what Edmund Hillary actually did when he did the first ascent of Everest, which was to climb something that had never been done before. So if it hasn't been done in a lifetime, what's the problem? It's the 9th highest mountain in the world. It's an 8,000-meter peak. It has a summit to death rate of 22%, which is not encouraging. 11 teams across 35 years. And this is as far as anyone ever got. So, what do we think? Mazzeno Ridge, is this a good idea? Oh, I like the attitude. But let's do some thinking before we actually go. They got as far as there, and then they took this photograph. This is what the ridge looks like. They took that photograph, they turned round, and they went home, which is a perfectly sensible response. But, inevitably, wherever sensible Europeans aren't prepared to go, eventually some mad Americans will go anyway. But this tells us some very interesting information. The ridge can be climbed. One of the biggest problems is carrying the supplies to last for long enough, but also to be able to move fast enough. So, how do we solve the problems of our predecessors? And there's a certain amount of space left that has got to take all your food and all your gas. Gas means water. Should we turn to supplies, last longer? Should we turn to speed, do it faster? You know, it's not very helpful when we have a 50-50 split on the vote. It isn't that one is better than the other. We want both. We can't have both. 10 days. 6 days to get to the summit, 2 days to get down, 2 days in reserve. And honestly, 10 days is all the food we can carry and still pick up the rucksacks. And we've blown it. Why? Why does a team with this experience get it wrong like this? And it's not about the mountain, it's about us. 3 key mistakes. 12 days in, there's no food left. It's going to take 2 days to get down a route we have never seen before. What should we do?